If you grew up playing games during the early 2000s, the first thing that's going to come to mind when you see an indie game like Flyknight is old school RuneScape. You can feel the inspiration behind the font face, as well as the iconic hit splats and the 8-bit shrieks as foes take damage, all of which are wonderfully coupled with a gameplay reminiscent of a Souls-like with an excellent design. It has swiftly been regarded in the gaming community as one of the best indie Souls-like to come out recently, thanks to its unique appearance and of course the execution of its innovative components. The story revolves around a group of flies who have been cursed by a being known as Lunamoth, rendering them unable to fly, which also causes all of their newborns to lose their wings at birth and of course all existing ones to gradually wither and die miserably. Sending an army to her lair led by the brave captain of the Dragoon Squad, brave souls are brought to their deaths one by one in an attempt to end the curse and restore honor to their tribe. A firm foundation that drives the player forward, especially with all of the allied NPCs supporting you in a handful of the sections. Flyknight genuinely feels like you're playing old school RuneScape in first person, both physically and graphically. There is a lot of personality that comes out of playing it for yourself, whether you want to see it in a more sharp and clear way, retro, or simply blindingly contrasted. The choices are ultimately yours. It's interesting to see actual player choice in video games, even if it is merely cosmetic. I find that providing the player with these fundamental elements significantly improves the experience, even if those features aren't that vital. It's still a very nice feature to have. The combination of high frame rate and low frame animations looks great. Whether you're swinging a heavy weapon, parrying damage, or dodging, everything is displayed in a way that helps to emulate weight and exhaustion, which adds to the experience, though sometimes trying to hit a target with a specific weapon can be very difficult due to the hitboxes. Gameplay is simple to comprehend. Players must explore various secret locations to locate chests and gear, as well as to defeat some bosses and enemies multiple times to obtain and wear a variety of different gear, including swords, maces, hammers, arrows, shields, halberds, and of course, magic spells capable of shredding through multiple enemies at once. What makes this even more fascinating is that it can be played with up to 4 players at a time via online lobbies, so if you want to screw around with your friends or strangers from all over the world, the option is right there. With the elements of block, kicking, and parry-style combat, you'll be using these all together to deflect strikes, stun, and also to knock your opponents over, making it much easier to break their carapaces or to rip off their limbs. Depending on your weapon style, you can vary your directional swings and stances by pressing left, right, forward, and backward, which is very intuitive. Every enemy has a unique weakness, therefore equipping different styles and weapons will benefit you with each encounter. Because there is a stamina system, you will need to approach this with caution, otherwise you may find yourself on the ground on the receiving end of a finishing blow. There was a lot of effort put into the underlying fishing minigame, and I would love to see some further content surrounding this feature. Aside from the ability to fish, it wasn't that fascinating because the main purpose is for the final achievement for a perfect completion. It just felt like it had so much potential to be a little bit more in-depth, or to become its own game in the future. Many of the complaints surrounding the game focuses on it being too short. There is a strong demand and desire for a new game plus, randomizer modes, DLCs, and a list of other features, which are going to be coming in the future. You're paying for less than a burger for a significant amount of content which, while appearing unfinished, will be worth every dollar. The developer has publicly noted that this is something that they will be working on, but in the meantime they have other plans, most notably patching up Flyknight to get it in a much better shape, while returning to work on other future projects before coming back. If you're in the mood for a good Souls-like dungeon crawler and you have some extra money laying around, picking up Flyknight will be one of the best decisions you've made with supporting an indie developer.